you're doing well. Welcome back to another video. This is my May version of the read or unhaul thing. Will I get back to my spinner wheel? Maybe. I haven't started this in April, so this is just going to be for May, and that's how I sort of will continue on with it now, like one video per month. And I have the stats for April, but I will tell you them after. And already the 5th, and I've read 3 books. Who am I now? Like, am I going back to the old me? I mean, I haven't done any work though, which is the main issue, because I have things coming up. I have an exam and assignments, and beside the point, don't need to stress.
But I have since read Clear by Karis Davies, Elena Knows by Claudia Pinheiro, translated from Spanish by Francis Riddle, and just today, Strange Pictures by Yuketsu, translated from Japanese by Jim Ryan. And I really enjoyed all of these, but I'm going to tell you about them, maybe, I don't know, or I'll just do it when I have my wrap up at the end of the month. But recommend this. So good. But
I thought this would be quite fun if I asked like my family and friends and stuff to pick a book for me. And I started with my mum. I haven't filmed her or anything because she isn't really comfortable with that, but I just told her like to look at my shelves and look at a few books, pick them up and stuff, and pick one. And she was going through picking a few different ones and stuff, and she was like, oh, maybe not this, like, you do what you want to do, you know, stuff like that. But I was like, no, I just want you to just pick the one, and then that is it. And the one she ended up picking is Kit by Megan Barker. She didn't really read the description. I am not 100% sure on really what it's telling me, so I'll just leave it there. You can read it if you desire, but once I actually start reading it and get to grips with it, I will probably know more. But it's sort of like told in like not poems. It's not. It's like it isn't properly written, but like it says told in spare, winding prose poetry. Kit is a splintered, powerful work of empathy, friendship, and unconditional love. And I think it sounds really good. So I'm gonna start this like now. There's a bit of music. It's currently, like I said, it's the 5th, going into the 6th. So it's like nearly 12 o'clock. But yeah, this is the start of the video. I'm just going to put in a few clips now from like some things I've filmed beforehand, because usually I just like put in clips whenever and then do updates and things. But yeah, I'm excited. And then when I finish this, I will maybe get my dad or my sister or something to choose a book. And I shall see you soon. Bye for now. Not the result, but good luck London City Lionesses. First ever independent women's club to go to the WSL, winning the league. Go on and do well next year. But Birmingham will come back next year. They'll be coming up. Let's go. Good luck. Okay. Having since fact finished Kit, I will do a review soon. And then my dad picked his book, and I am like really nearly finished it, but I need to go back to Birmingham today. I need to be leaving in like not very soon, but like a couple hours, and I don't know if I'm gonna finish it because I don't want to really take it with me, because there's like 25 pages. I don't want to leave it as well, because then I'm like, what's the point? Anyway, next person to choose is my dog, and obviously I'm not gonna let him like just choose the first book you pick because that's like so difficult. So I picked 3 new books which I have acquired that I really badly want to read. I will put a little treat on them and then see which one he goes to first and then read that one. It's like a pink theme, which is quite nice, and it will have sort of like a photo and then like the bit that's like above it. Well, it's already a photo, but anyway, I'm gonna see what my dog picks and read it. Oh yeah. Hey, so I am back in Birmingham now. I thought I would quickly do my reviews for Kit and Premonition because I've since finished them. Kit, I think I'm probably going to give 3.5 or 3.75 stars to, by Megan Baker. It's good, it's experimental, it's, you know, interesting. But I was misled by the description, I would say. It's basically poems, but like poetry, prose in a sense that like follow a narrative story. But it's not like a novel, so I don't really what to class it as. But it's basically following a woman, Megan, I believe, like the main character, or like the yeah, sort of. I don't know if it's based on like her own friendship with someone called Kit, or you know, someone else, but she's chosen that name for them. I'm not 100% sure like the actual truth to it, but it is very like realized in a sense and like could be real. But it's basically her in this relationship with like a college age friend from like when they was in their 20s that they met at university, I believe, in Glasgow, and then in like the more current time frame, because there's there's like one like backtrack poem, and then there's mostly ones that go from like I want to say May, sort of like May until like June time, and Kit is struggling with a problem. I highly believe it's like mental health problems, and she is trying to, you know, get him back to loving life and enjoying things and stuff, and like inviting him like within her personal family, her like husband, and I believe she has twin sons and also a daughter, and trying to navigate like the strains on her own family life with Kit's like problems, and trying to, you know, I guess like rekindle their like friendship, not rekindle in a way, but just like get him to being happier in a sense. And then like it follows a bit from that, but from the description I think it was more going to be a bit like back and forth and understanding like the way they like grew to be friends in the first place, and their sort of like relationship from that. But it is quite like slow paced in a sense, these poems, and some you do sort of get really know what's going on, but a few was maybe a little bit questionable. But yeah, just like I said, I just expected more from it, and I wanted more of their like coming together and exploring that. And I thought it would have made it a bit more impactful to know the like difference between then and now. But I did think it was quite good and throw some questions and like discussions about like mental health services and like the lack of them, and the way that like the strain and pressure falls on family and friends of people that are suffering, when there isn't really many places for people to go to, or it's slow, and like long waiting lists and things like that, or like just not there. So it was good, but it's one I don't really want to not like as much, but I just felt a little bit underwhelmed, being completely honest. And then The Premonition by Badana Yoshimoto, translated from Japanese by Asa Yonida, I believe. I just finished this like this morning, like when I was on the train, because I like took photos of like the last like 15 pages and was reading them, because I didn't want to take it with me, because like there wasn't much point, and then also I didn't want to leave it. But I think probably 3 stars, maybe 2.5, maybe even less, I'm not sure. It's a weird one. Like, I've read 2 Yoshimoto books before. Kitchen, which is sort of like short stories in a sense, that was quite good, and then also NP, which I think also gave around 3 stars. This one is following a woman called Yayoi, I believe, and she can't really like remember things from her childhood in a sense, and she goes to like she runs away a few times, but then like the main time is that she goes to see her aunt, Yakina, I believe. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing the names correctly. And she's quite like a weird character in a sense that she just sort of like tries to forget about things that she doesn't want to think about, and just like I wanted more of her like weirdness in a sense. Like, you get that on the front page, but that's literally just like under the French flap, like the description, about like her like watching Friday the 13th multiple times, like drinking at like 2 a.m. and stuff. Like, I wanted a bit more of that from me. It's just like once, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna put it straight into the description, because that's like all there is about her. So you left like questioning a few things, but and then we sort of learn about like a few things from their past, and something that like the main character like forgot, and then she sort of remembers. And she has like this ability to sort of like see like things that before they happen, or like know who's calling on the phone, or like stuff like that, but like it's not really explored or shown that much, and it's just sort of like, okay. And there's also 2 like taboo relationships that a little bit spoilery, so I'll just put a little thing there now. But one is between like a teacher and a student, and also between step siblings, kind of. Like, I'm just gonna say, because spoilers there anyway. So the main character, her and her brother Tetsuya, I believe, they sort of like, she went into the family unit when they were both like children, and they grew up as brother and sister, but they both sort of have had like romantic-y feelings for each other, and that sort of realised in a sense later on, and it's just a bit meh, like it's a bit uneasy, you know. And there's also like incestuousness nature in NP, the other book I read by her, and I just didn't really like it. I didn't really think it like was necessary, and you're sort of like made in a sense to try and forget about the taboo nature of the relationship and just like want to root for them, which I don't think is right or like well done. I think like they still were siblings for enough time and knew that they were, and that only later on did they realize they weren't like related. So I didn't like that, and also the teacher-student relationship just, yeah, it just wasn't, I didn't think it was handled well. And I don't really think any of like those parts just brought it down quite a lot, and none of the like actual like niceness or like interest in the book really made up for it, I would say. I just was left like wanting more and exploring more, I guess, with the characters and the story and stuff. It's just, yeah, I don't know, the writing is quite good, and like it does like, her writings are like fever dream-esque in a way, or like you don't really, it's hard to fully explain how they make you feel. It's quite like calming and like fast-paced, I guess, but yeah, I don't know, I didn't particularly like it, so I think I'm probably gonna settle on maybe like a 2.25, I don't know, maybe 2.5, I'm not 100%, but I didn't really enjoy it. However, my dog's pick, Benji, he has pulled one, but I mean, technically I did pick 3 books that I wanted to read, but like still, it's one he chose. She's Always Hungry by Elijah Clark. I am actually really, well, not really enjoying this, but I'm enjoying it quite a bit. This is a collection of short stories that sort of focus on sort of like women and like feminism in a sense, or like women's problems or like pressures on them. and then also like hunger and like food problems and stuff. But yeah, I'm on to the 4th short story now, and I enjoy it. So the first one was Build a Body Like Mine. It was sort of about like eating disorders and like diet culture and stuff. Well, that was quite good. And the problem solver was a woman that is assaulted, and her like friend sort of like tries to like, he comes from a good place in the way that he wants to get revenge for her in a sense, but she's just left like, it's kind of like, I wanted maybe a little bit more from that, if I was being honest, but like it was quite good. And also, and then the particular one she's always hungry about, it's like commune in a way of like where the women are in charge and the men are like made to like, they're just like named after their mothers. They're like, oh, that's Janny's son, or that Janny's Paul, or things like that. Like their name is their mother's comma their name. Am I making sense? Probably not. But then there's also this sort of like siren-y like merfolk creatures that like apparently like call the men to them, and that's why they sort of like go to the sea eventually. But like the main character we're following is sort of like always like a good boy and stuff. And yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but that was quite a good one. And now the one I'm on now is The Shadow Over Little Chitaly, and I am loving this. It's basically like sort of like food reviews in a sense for this like takeaway place that's like a merger of Italian and Chinese cuisine. And I was on the train to read this, and I was just so like I was just like laughing because they're just like so bonkers, like the things people are saying. It's just done so well. It's like the star rating and like Jack from Glasgow, and like it's just funny basically. And I'm really enjoying this, but I don't really see the point per se of it, but it is enjoyable, and I can't wait to get back to that. So yeah, this so far is doing very, very well. That was a little update. Hey, so I'm gonna wind down a bit. Do a bit of reading. I'm gonna light my new candle. This is one my friend got me for Christmas. Although like I'm gonna use it now. It smells really nice. Sensual sandalwood and jasmine. So that's cute. And yeah, just sit for a bit. Wind down. And talk to you in the morning. I'm hoping to read maybe like 1 or 2 more stories and then try and settle to bed. But yeah, so excited to get back to this. And tomorrow I have so much work to do, back into the uni brain and doing all that, because Hannah's an exam in like less than a week. Okay. I don't want to think about that right now, because that's just gonna stress me out and won't allow me to sleep. So it's a way, it's tomorrow's problem. That's how I'm thinking about it. Hello. So I went to sleep kind of, well, I went to like in bed, like but I couldn't sleep. Same brain. You have to laugh sometimes, insomnia is real. So I started reading some more of the book, and then I was finally able to get to sleep, and then I woke up and then tried to do some work. I just not been feeling the best, but I have since finished She's Always Hungry by Eliza Clark, and I enjoyed this. I added up and like devised all the ratings for the individual stories, and it comes out to 3.5227, so 3.5, and I'll probably round it up to 4 on Goodreads. And yeah, I thought I'd just quickly, I guess, tell you the little summaries of the other stories I read and the star ratings. Did I do that earlier? But it doesn't really matter. The one I was just on when I last updated you about the takeaway that's like weird like fingers and stuff. It was so funny. That I gave 4.252. And the next one was this like sci-fi one about this person that gets like injured on like a mission, like an archaeological thing, and about like wounds and like infestation. It was kind of weird. I gave that 2 stars. I think I'm really just not like a sci-fi person. I don't think I've really ever enjoyed a sci-fi book, but Anyway, the next one was about this like guy that is like obsessed with this like goth girl that he works with at the bar. I gave that 3 stars. I felt like it was fine. Yeah, it was okay. Then it was Extinction Event. This one was quite good. This one was about this person that's like being kidnapped in a sense to work on like trying to find a way to like help the planet and like find new ways to overcome all the destruction that we've done to it basically. And they find these like alien like animal plant creatures, and they can like help to clean up like the air and microplastics and stuff, but then they start getting like infested and things. That one I gave 4 stars. Then Night Stalkers was about these 2 guys that sort of like break into like homes and stuff, and one of them is sort of in love with the other, and just yeah, nothing really that much happened with that, to be honest. I gave that 3.25, but I think it wasn't like, it was okay, you know. Then Shake Well was about this girl who's in sort of like an abusive sort of relationship in a sense, with an older guy that like does like drug dealing, and she has like bad acne on her face, and she's like desperate for like a cure to like get rid of it, which she finds on the dark web, and I gave it a 3.5. Then The King was about this like the earth is like coming to an apocalyptic event, and she is one of this like old like race that can like live for centuries, and the way that she sort of like becomes like the new king in a way. And I guess it sort of talks a bit sort of about like superpowers and how like people just like go along with things in a sense instead of like questioning things when they should. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. I gave it 3.75. And then finally was Company Man. I gave that 4 stars, and that was about a woman that sort of like works like this party thing. She's sort of like was like I guess a criminal, or like her identity changed, and she starts seeing this man and stuff like that from her past. Yeah, which was quite good. I think like on the whole it was decent. I would recommend it, but it's like kind of weird like short stories because they're not always all gonna hit, so it is like a balance, I guess. And also I feel like maybe it was a little bit too short to fully get to grips with the characters and what she's trying to show with each story. So maybe if it was a bit longer, I would have been able to done a bit more. But on the whole, good recommend from Benji, thank you. And that was that. Then I sent a picture of the books that I have at uni with me to my sister, and was like, can you pick one for me please, preferably a shorter one. And she chose Reservoir Bitches by Dalia de la Caruda, translated from Spanish by Heather Cleary and Julia Sanchez, which is one of the ones that was the options for Benji, which is kind of weird. But yeah, I'm gonna start this soon. Again, this is a collection of short stories about women in Mexico, and just like how they like adapt to life in a way, and how they can like live in a sense. I'm not too sure, but really, really excited for this. I'm ashamed like it got a little bit like damaged in like the when I was bringing it up, but hey ho. I shall see you soon. Hello. So it's been a few days. I did actually finish this quite a few days ago, and I was gonna do the update then, but I just not been feeling it. But I really enjoyed Reservoir Bitches by Dalia de la Caruda. I thought this book was really very good. For the average rating of all the 13 short stories in here, it came out to 3.846, but I think I'm just going to round it up and fully do it as a 4-star. And I definitely think that the better ones in here, which were like 4.5, 4.75, were the most memorable and like really like held me and had a big impact on me. So I do think it's a very good book. Also, I really love the way it's sort of, there's these 13 women in a way, and there is some connections with some of them, as particularly like a sort of like a daughter of a drug lord sort of person, and her like relations, or like friendships and stuff. There's a few to do with that, and then a few other connections you can kind of make. But they're following these 13 women in contemporary Mexico and all the struggles and strives and things that they have to go through and deal with in a way. And it also talks quite a lot about like classism and the like people being moved out of like their homes and like things, so like richer companies and stuff can build like expensive apartments like malls and like things like that, and how like the people that are pushed out, the natives, are like pushed into sort of like smaller areas, and like the lack of like services and like policing and lack of like jobs and like things for young people do push them into like crime. And I do think like it just like it definitely is a very well told way, I guess, of exploring these themes. And the big one is like femicide and like violence against women, and how it's such a like horrific like statistics, and how many women are like murdered in some ways just because they are a woman, or they don't have as much power or influence, and the lack of justice and lack of people wanting to label this crime as a femicide. Or if like a man was in the place and this robbery went wrong, how like it would be like viewed a lot differently, and how it's just sort of like natural, like just thought of as like an everyday occurrence that a woman is going to be murdered in Mexico. And it's just very, very hard to read, but it needs to be shared. And I think this book is a very, very good way of exploring it. Like I said, I love the way it's told in these women are like talking to like a friend or like an acquaintance or something. It just feels so natural and like dialogue, and it just flows so quickly. Like, yes, it is a short book, and like not the whole page is writing, like it's quite big margins, but you really do fly through it. And I think that's mostly because of the informal way it is written, I would say. So yeah, definitely recommend giving this book a read. Like the rating is based on the stories, because some I did really enjoy, or they like impacted me a lot. Most notably is The Smile and La Heresa. But then a few ones I didn't particularly enjoy, such as The Rose of Sharon and Playing with Fire, just 'cause I couldn't really get it, or I didn't like really enjoy them much. But on the whole, recommend, good book. Then my friend chose The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. And like I did start this a few days ago. I read like the first chapter, and then I read quite a big chunk when I was out on the buses yesterday. I'm on currently page 82, about to start chapter 15. It's readable. It's readable. Like it, yes, it does pull you forward in a way, because you want to like know sort of what's happening. But at the same time, I don't fully know if I care. I don't know if I really want to read this book at the moment or at all. I know I picked it up like in like the charity shop. I think it was like 2 for £1 or something. And I know loads of people love it. Lots of people hate it. Where am I currently sitting on there? Bit even. I'm intrigued. Don't mind some of the characters are exploring who they are and like their backstory, and you want to sort of like know like what went down. But at the same time, do I really care? And it is longer than the other books I've been reading recently, and I've just sort of been in like a literary sort of like want to read like books like that, just explore like humanity and connections and like the everyday world, more than like a mystery sort of book. However, I'm gonna still continue reading some. I think I'm probably gonna try and get to like page like 120 or something, and then I'll decide if I want to DNF and unhaul this or not, because I don't feel like it's one I'll probably DNF and then come back to. It's just more like, okay, I tried it. But yeah, basically it's following Millie, and she applies to be the Winchesters, the family like housemaid, and she sort of gets this job, and the wife, or the matriarch I guess, is sort of quite hot and cold and up and down and a bit manipulative. I tried so many times to say that. and her daughter is sort of like strange and sort of like in cahoots, I guess, with her, and then the husband seems to be the only like nice person, and quite a lot of times already it's been like, oh, he's so handsome, oh, he looks so handsome in this, like I didn't know he could look so handsome. I'm just like, right, I guess we know he's fit, like come on. And also there's like this fit Italian gamekeeper sort of person, and he is sort of like trying to like persuade her like to not be working there, but like very subliminal, and he's sort of like scared of the wife, what's her name, Nina, and yeah, but also like the main character, she has like a history, she doesn't want to get out, and I sort of want to know like what she did. But yeah, I don't know if it's be better one just to like read like a spoiler review of, or like spark notes sort of idea of the plot. But yeah, also some of the parts feel a little bit YA-y in a sense that like just like the way that she's talking about things or something just doesn't seem as like mature for an adult book, but it's not like excessive. And yeah, but anyway, let's carry on and I shall see you soon. How many times does she have to say that Andrew is handsome? We get it, we get it. Please, Millie, just shush. No. Oh, I'm getting annoyed. And like the way she's so constantly like, oh, he's too good for her, like she isn't to his level, like she's fat, she's like flumpy, she has like mental health problems, she's like worse than him, she has like her roots showing, all this stuff. I'm just like, hun, you don't have to keep repeating it, like well, once or twice is bad enough, but like constantly saying like how she is like so like worth less than he is because he's so pretty and handsome and rich and kind and funny and stuff. Like, hun, oh, I don't know. I'm so getting annoyed. I just think, I don't know, what am I on? 118. We get that he's handsome, we get it. And like the way she sexualizes the like groundskeeper guy that like works in different houses, it's just like wrong. And the way she's constantly like, oh, he's been here like 3 years and he should like know English and stuff. Like, I don't know, I'm just frustrating. It's getting me annoyed. I'm not enjoying it. But I want to know what happens. It's giving I forgot his name, Paul Tremblay. Like it's given that sort of like I want to read on because I want to know like what happens in the twist and stuff. But I'm not enjoying the reading. Also, it's just badly written, if I'm being completely honest. Like it's just not like written that well. But like of course that isn't, you know, the be all and end all. It's, you know, it's about the characters and the plot and stuff. But like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'll update you what I decide to do soon, probably, because yeah. Also, this violence, and for what? Why? Nasty thing. So I've basically been reading this the whole day. Yeah, I didn't DNF it. I'm not going to DNF it. In the UK edition, when you get to page 292. Love it. Oh my god, I love it so much. Not the book. I mean, it's entertaining, but I'll have thoughts later. But I just wanted to just capture that moment. Oh, Millie, yes. So yeah, I think I'm actually gonna try and finish this tonight, even though like it's like 1 a.m. or something now. But anyways, yeah, I've just been listening to lots of like old Rihanna and like Beyonce and stuff, just like basically the whole day, and I've been loving it and kind of enjoying this book. Like there's problems, but like it is entertaining. It's entertaining 100%, and I'm so happy I did that because when the twists come, I'm like, okay, I'm sad. Anyway, back to this, and I shall see you probably when I finish it. So I just finished Housemaid, But it's like 2:30 and I'm really tired, so I'm gonna go to bed and give you my wrap up thoughts in the morning or later or whatever. And yeah, also I don't know if I'm gonna read any other books in this video or not, or just maybe just do like try and focus on assignments and just do a bit of like here and there, like mood reading or something, and try and get this out sooner than I had planned. But I don't know. I'll see you in the morning or whenever. And also I need to tell you about April's statistics of books bought and read and stuff. But I don't really want to look at those numbers at the moment or think about them because they are not very favourable. But anyways, good night, even though you're probably just going to continue watching or whatever. I don't know what you're going to do. We might stop it and go to sleep and then pick up and out of it. Anyway, I'm going to go to sleep if I can, if the brain allows me to stop talking. Bye for now.
1956, and now the home of the 69th Eurovision Song Contest. Following Nemo's...
From the audience, you have received...
Congratulations!
Sixth season in a row. It is 10 in total for this marvellous side.
Oh, go on, Barcelona women.
Who made it look easy today.
Hey, so it is a few days later since I finished The Housemaid, and I think I've just been trying to like brew on my thoughts and things, and I'm still not 100% on what star rating to give it, because there's problems, but at the same time I feel like some of those are addressed in a sense, or we're given reasons for certain things. And like I said, like it's not the most well-written thing, but it's enjoyable, I would say, and it keeps you intrigued. Well, to an extent, like I don't feel like I really cared about many of the characters that much until a bit later, and I was actually a little bit on the verge of like possible like watery eyes. I didn't, but I was on the brink, I would say. But yeah, I feel like just because like we have such a huge section of this main character and how she keeps going on about how the husband is so like handsome and perfect, and why is he with this like fat old woman, in a sense. That's just really what she says, but that's kind of what she means. When like he could be with anyone, he can be with someone younger, he can be with someone pretty, he can be with someone like me, not me, that's the character, but then when like you get to part 2 and then the narrative shifts and I was sad, yeah, I do think, I guess it's quite clever how it comes together. It's far-fetched, like you can like definitely challenge things that go on and be like, okay, I mean that probably wouldn't happen, and stuff like that, or like why and things, but like at the end of the day it's fiction and it's not like a literary sort of contemporary thing that's trying to like delve into like humanity and like you be so relatable and everything like that. It's purely sort of like to engage a reader and enjoy it and stuff like that. So yeah, I think probably star rating like a 3.5 maybe for now. Yeah, I think it has its merits, it has its deductions, but on the whole I would recommend it and it was enjoyable and I'm happy I didn't DNF. But at the same time I feel like if I had DNF'd, like I probably wouldn't have like cared too much if I had just like watched a spoiler review and just been like, oh okay, cool, but actually reading it was quite enjoyable. So yeah, that was that one. I was going to end it here. However, I did start reading the book when I was out. It's when I got a new book that I'm super excited for. And I thought, like, I've been given these recommendations mostly from just like looking at the book. It's not really about the contents apart from reading the house because one of my friend already owned and she was excited to read it. And we're gonna like share thoughts and stuff. But I thought, why don't I recommend myself a book, and that could be the last in the video. And the book I've chosen to read is Nova Scotia House by Charlie Porter. I recently got his out because I was feeling bad. I was feeling shitty. So I went to a few charity shops and stuff like that, and I thought I'd have a little pop in Waterstones. I had a little look around. I've been hearing lots of good reviews for this. And I had a £10 credit to use on my card. So I thought, why not treat myself? So I got this and I started reading it on the bus. I'm on page 22. I'm enjoying it, I am. However, I feel like it is quite sort of like stream of consciousness-y, in a sense, if that's like the correct terminology. Or it's just sort of like very like this guy's just telling his story, but it's very like backtracks and short sentences and long ones and sort of just like meanders a bit, and like some like lack of punctuation in like the sentences, because he's like where his mind's going. And whilst I feel like I'm gonna learn to love it, when you're first getting into it and it's not really what you expect, it's a little bit like, oh, okay, I need to take a bit of time with this. And it does feel to be going quite slow. Like I was reading it for quite a while, like on buses, like from like Solihull to Coventry, and then from Coventry back to Birmingham, and a little bit further as well. So yeah, I feel like to only get that far in is not the best. But yeah, it's basically about a man, what's his name, Johnny, and he's thinking back to a relationship with another man called Jerry Field, and they both met sort of like doing this like garden, like allotment thing in like the estate gardens, I guess, where they lived in this Nova Scotia house in I think it's London. And I don't know if it's actually been said yet, but it's just sort of about like the city, and they say like going to like the river, and I'm just like, I definitely think it is London. But they met when Johnny was 19 and Jerry, it's like very similar, was 45, and now it is like, oh, my brain is just so bad right now. It's anyway, it's like 20 or something years later, and now Johnny is 48 himself, and it's been like 20 years or something since Jerry died from AIDS, I believe. And he is just like sort of recounting the way they met and the politics at the time, in a sense, and sort of like the growing crisis and the lack of government things. But quite a lot at the moment is about sort of like gentrification and the pushing out of the native residents of like the area, and the lack of sort of like government intervention for like the people there, and sort of like places becoming derelict, and quite like a few things like that and stuff. So yeah, but I haven't fully got to grips really with what the story's going to be totally yet, but I'm enjoying it. I just need to get a bit over the writing style stage to fully get to grips with it, I guess. But anyways, that's my update. I should tell you April's stats because I've just written them down. So I read 8 physical books in April, but I hauled 31, and I can't remember what the total from last month's video one was, but now my total of unread books on my TBR is 1,227. We keep going up. We need to come down. But I'm trying to make a dent in it. It's just difficult sometimes. when I have other things to do, and also when I'm feeling bad, and buying books makes me feel happy. So it's a little boost of serotonin, even though when I'm thinking back, I'm like, oh, just adding to the stress. Anyway, I have just made a hot chocolate, which is probably going cold as we speak. Should I put my candle on? I'll think. But I'm gonna sit in bed for a bit and read a little bit more of Nova Scotia House. And I shall update you when I so wish. They're coming, see. I'll tell you later. Officially the first book of 2024 to be like it was mostly just one before I change into my same top, I thought I'd just quickly explain why I was crying on the bus. So I was listening to like the conclusion part of how halt thou women, or thou shalt women. I don't know, whatever it is here. I haven't had any sleep, by the way, for like the past like over 30 odd hours, so I'm really tired. But I was listening to that, and the conclusion, and the bringing up again of one of the cases that she dealt with, Mary, and I just, all the emotions, all the feelings just came to me, and it made me cry. I think that's the third book this year that's officially made me cry. Like, I've got a bit like teary-eyed, got a bit like emotional, obviously, with books, but that's the first one that's fully like they've come out and was coming down. And then like literally like whilst I was like mid-ball, like these like big group of like teenage boys came on the bus, and I was just like trying to turn around, which I do anyway, but more so when you're like crying. And like, anyways, yeah, but I'm not going to review the book. I'll probably give it around 4 stars, maybe, I don't know. But that will be in the wrap up, because that was an audio book, and it wasn't part of this video. But I just thought I would just give a little explanation. Anyways, I have been reading some more of Nova Scotia House. Really enjoying it. Still a little bit hard to get to grips with the writing style. But I'm enjoying learning about the characters and their interactions and their history and what they're trying to say and their messages and stuff. But I will be trying to be a bit more on point when I've slept, and can tell you properly. But anyway, see you probably tomorrow. So stressed. Oh my god, so stressful. Oh my lord, that was stress. Oh my, I don't know what to do. By the way, I was wearing that shirt like for it, but I just took it off because I don't know any more of your feet. I felt so uncomfortable, but like, anyways, you gotta do what you gotta do if you want to get a job, which I need. So yeah, anyway, finally done it. It's just, oh wow, it was a lot. It's later. Going to the Pride Birmingham free community thing. Let's see how it goes. I've been very much like on and off. Should I go? Shouldn't I go? Because I'm very stressed about how the Teach First thing went. But I thought I'd just go and see it because it's like once a year and I've never been to the Birmingham one before. And just see how it goes. If I don't like it, then I can come back. If I do like it, I'll say, look, you know, we shall see. And I might record some bits if I'm Abel.
Stages such as this, and people who hold a mic speaking their truth. Love is a desired and acquired taste that only some can hold on to. Love is a gift. Love is love. Love is Birmingham. Make some noise if you agree with me. Give a dance. A poet has been born, a poet has been born. Written to the page, his words were sworn. I came to the stage with a new page. Love in my heart, no longer arranged. I wanted to perform some poetry. It came out lyrical. I was wondering myself, why is it so mystical and magical? I've got something to say. I came here to play. No longer I'm doing this today. This is a new poem, a new flow. I'm letting you know my name is C-Po, and so this is for the beings to speak poetically. I'm letting you know how you can get the best of me. We are treating one another. Please go ahead and hug one another. You don't have to do it right now. Not everybody wants to be touched, but this one's for the ones who know I love. It's love. We love off the ground and we love to above. Cause love is, love is, love is, love, love is, love, love is, love. Now, I find it funny when I'm here performing. I find myself holding a mic like a rapper. I'm not a rapper, I know I walk dapper, but I'm a poet. I swear I'm a poet and I know it. I come through with a new flow every time and I show it. I make sure that I speak poetically and I grow it. I make sure that you speak right here from the diaphragm. I make sure that all of you know who I am. I spit into this microphone. I can't stop, no way, because I'm in the zone. I make sure that you know that I have got the flow. And by the end of the day, who's downstage, it's C-Pop, but the poet has been born. A poet is on the stage. That's why you're nodding your head. That's why you're waving your hands. Because a poet has been born, a poet has been born. A poet has been born, a poet has been born. A poet has been born, a poet has been born. A poet has been born. A born poet. Thank you, Birmingham Pride. Someone to save me. I'm loving angels instead.
Until these injustices are overturned, because trans rights are human rights. Let's hear it 3 times, as loud as you can. Trans rights are human rights. Trans rights are human rights. Look at yourself in the mirror and cry.
Shit has hit the fan, especially for the trans.
Built by the protest of women like me. And it's also time I remind the people in our own community that your pride would not exist without trans people in the first place.
Yes!
most specifically black trans women. Yet we have allowed politicians to abuse their powers to control our identity. We are letting the work of those women who fought for us to be undone, and we are silenced. We cannot be bystanders when it comes to people's rights. If you are joining a queer space, you are an ally to a community which faces relentless aggression. Trans people need the support of not just our trans siblings, but of all of you. I am a trans woman who is graced with an incredible supportive family, someone who can afford to go private for medication, and I am a white woman. I feel the need to use my own privileges within my own community, to use my voice. You as an audience, full of those with even more advantages in society than me, need to take a far greater stance for us.
Up there. So in its legacy, we didn't just want it to finish then, because, you know, we're another group, us living with HIV or stigmatised, and lots of people who are HIV never tell anybody, they just tell their doctor. 56 years later, it's the trans community that are being picked on again by everyone. For being personal, could it stand for being persistent, for people power? Because you might think you've only got one voice, but if all your voices are together, then you make a difference. The only way that I got the memorial done, I couldn't have done it on my own. You all helped me do it. So things can happen, all right?
Shake that thing, miss. Can I shake that thing, miss? I'm not gonna shake that thing, yeah. Da-da-da-da. Jody and Rebecca. Shake, 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 shake that shake, 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 shake that shake, 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 shake that shake, shake, shake.
People say that I'm so controversial, but I think the most controversial thing I have ever done is to stick around.
Glad I went. I'm tired. I'm sick. Very tired. So I'm going to sleep when I get in hopefully, but that doesn't usually happen. Congratulations. English team won and it weren't Chelsea, so there you go. I still hate Vice Pennius. Penultimate game last season came on, beat Man City 2-1, tied 2 away from us. So yeah, it's very like, don't care, but well done, whatever.
Extraordinary achievements that will live long in the history. Champions of Europe again.
Long overdue, but I'm doing cleaning at the moment. And I'm gonna get rid of my autumn leaves because they're crusty and dry and they keep like falling apart, so bye bye leaves. Final day of the Prem. Let's go Liverpool. I've enjoyed the champions, but still.
Champions. Now 20 times the champions of England. Liverpool.
Hey, so I've got to page 182 of Nova Scotia Hotel. It's currently 10 to 12. I've got about like 50 pages left. I want to try and get that read done like tonight into the early hours. I just had a shower. I'm all clean. I'm a bit hot though. But I made a hot chocolate, which probably won't help, but maybe it'll relax me. Anyways, there's not really much point to this, but what I was just trying to say is that I hope to finish the book tonight and update you and finish this video. But I'm enjoying it a lot. Still having the issue with the writing, but it's definitely a very good book. But yeah, see you soon. So I'm just going out, but I will let you know my thoughts on Nova Scotia House because I finished it last night, but I don't have time for an update yet. So yeah, I don't know if I film anything when I'm out, probably not, but we shall see. Also, I love my case, it's so cute. See ya. So it is the next day, and I thought I would do my final thoughts of Nova Scotia House and a little review and stuff. So yeah, this is a really poignant and well portrayed book. I can't fully remember what I was telling you about the plot, but it's basically Johnny thinking back to his relationship with Jerry and going through the AIDS epidemic and just sort of this idea of what to do with your anger and how to move forward. And it's set like in the past and the present. Well, it's in the present, but he's him thinking back, I guess, to the past, and how our forebearers, you know, this queer magic they sort of had, and the like letting go of the predetermined structure of life, and like what you're meant to do, like get married and have kids and get a job and get like a house, and you know, this sort of like family unit focused path, and sort of like capitalism and stuff like that, and the people that sort of moved away from that, and then sort of the modern queer culture, and like with the apps and like the hookups and sort of trying to fit in, and obviously being accepted now, but in some ways maybe we've lost that fight, and talks about like the AIDS crisis and different movements like sit-ins, and like pushing for like companies to like share research, and lots of like just discourse on that, and yeah, I think there's like quite a few scenes in here that are really touching, and characters as well, especially like when Jerry, Johnny and Gareth are like sitting in their garden, and that scene's really done well, and when Jerry is painting drawing a picture of what the life he wants to have, but it's at a time when he's so like in the depths of dying, and talks about like the AIDS memorial quilt, and there's a few like photographs of quilts that were made in the book, and yeah, it's a really good book, one I would so recommend. I think for star rating I'm probably gonna give it a 4.5 or 4.25, I'm not 100% sure. I do still have the issue with the writing because it is very stream of consciousness, and like it goes back and forth and repetitive, but it does what it does well is that you're put in this character's head, and you're thinking like what he thinks basically. But yeah, definitely an amazing book. I would love to read more by Charlie Porter. He has produced sort of like fashion critique sort of books, and like that's what his profession was before writing his debut, but I'm not really interested in them, so I'll see if he does any more fiction. But yeah, I thought I'd just quickly wrap up this video and do a ranking of all the books I read. I think in last place is definitely The Premonition by Bilana Yoshimoto. I think I gave that 2.5 stars, probably more like 2.25. I'm not sure, I did not like that book. Then it's a jump. I think probably it would be The Housemaid by Frida McFadden next, and that's 3.5, but still interesting. And yesterday I did actually pick up The Inmate by her, because I like, you always see him in charity shops, Frida McFadden, but I wanted to read one before I got any more by her, but just because she might have just been awful, I just hated. And whilst there's problems in here, and whilst I didn't particularly enjoy every part of it, it was entertaining, and if I want that sort of entertaining sort of like quick read, then I will maybe, well, I've got it, so hopefully I do read it. But yeah, then it is Kit by Megan Baker. Like I said, 3.5 stars. I think it is important and well told, but is misleading, and that is why it is down a bit, but still decent. Then I think I settled on 3.75 for She's Always Hungry by Eliza Clark. I think, yeah, a very good collection. Obviously some better than others, but would recommend this book. And then I think I gave this 4 stars, right, because I rounded it up. Reservoir Bitches by Dalia de la Caruda, translated from Spanish by Heather Cleary and Julia Sanchez. Exceptional call to arms to talk about and to try and create change about the femicide epidemic within contemporary Mexico, and just like getting to grips with the lives of these 13 women. And yeah, so recommend giving this book a read. And then the best, maybe I do know my own taste best, but obviously all the books I had were ones that I was planning to read anyway, apart from maybe The Housemaid. That was one I was just gonna possibly unhaul without reading, but it's Never to Go to House by Charlie Porter. Very good. So yeah, I enjoyed this video. I hope you did too. Here's the ranking without the other ones that are there, but yeah. Let me quickly calculate the average for this video, the like score, but I will do the other like monthly stats will be in next month's one. So let me quickly do that before I say goodbye. She's Always Hungry was actually a 3.5 star. Average of the ratings for the books I read in this video, it comes to 3.5 exactly. So yeah, well, I wanted to be more, yes, but it's still not too bad, I guess. And it was fun letting my friends and family pick books for me, even though only really The Housemaid was one that was chosen because of like being the book. The rest were sort of just like randomly chosen. But anyways, hope you enjoyed today's video, and have a nice morning wherever you are in the world, and I shall see you soon. Bye.